Hey, just catching up, doing a video. I'm going to do a little bit of venting about, stuff that's going on. I decided to talk about why people are still not understanding about inequality, about what Black Lives Matter means, about um, why All Lives Matter is offensive. I wanted to explain that in this video because some people are still not getting it. And that's privilege. When you don't have to worry about certain things, it's easy for you to be like, oh, well, whatever, it's not my problem, it's not my problem. Like, I'm, a Black and Mexican woman. I know what I have to deal with being a Black and Mexican woman, my experiences that I know my white female friends have not dealt with, nor will they ever have to deal with. But I also know that I have the privilege of being straight. I have the privilege of being able bodied. I have the privilege of, speaking English in America. I have a lot of privileges, but I own up to them. So, like, for example, right now it's Pride Month. I know people that are gay. I know people that are transgender. They have to deal with so much crap that I would never have to deal with being straight. Absolutely not. I don't have to worry about, can I get a job? Can I go to this family event? Am I going to find someone who wants me? Is everyone going to accept me? Stuff like that. I don't have to worry about that being a straight person. That's straight privilege. Me being able-bodied, I can get up and walk and pretty much do whatever. I have friends that have different disabilities. They have to worry about their health pretty much every day. I mean, I have to worry about my health as far as my blood clots goes, but like I can still um, pretty much function. I don't have to worry about that stuff. That's called privilege. For example, what was it, a couple months back, they had abled or weird. It was a hashtag that was on Twitter. And people who were disabled were talking about their experiences being disabled. And what happened? People who weren't disabled were like, oh, you guys need to stop whining. Oh, da da da. Oh, if you don't like it, you can leave. Which I hate when people say that. Oh, well, we go through stuff too. No, you're able-bodied. You don't go through stuff that disabled people have to go through. Just like with Pride Month. Oh, why do they keep talking about this? Oh, no one cares if you're gay. Yes, they do. That's why the Supreme Court decided to come forward and say that if you're LGBTQ, people can't fire you from your job. That was a law that was passed, that LGBTQ could be fired if they find out and they don't want you working there. So these people that are so privileged and being like, oh, well, no one cares about your ethnicity, no one cares about if you're disabled, no one cares about if you're LGBTQ. Yes, they do. That's why there's discrimination. That's why on the bottom of job applications, talk about equal opportunity employer, they ask what your ethnicity is. If that didn't matter, then why is it on there? It's just sad. Like, my heart's hurting because, like I mentioned before, I'm an empath. So, like, if I see people being racist or xenophobic or ignorant, it like really bothers me. Other people can just be like, oh, that's how they are, or whatever. I can't. It bothers me, and I want to have conversations with people and explain to them, hey, this is what's going on. Like, luckily, most of the people I know, they have, and I'm going to say this, they have the common sense to know, hey, we all have our privileges, and we, certain people have more disadvantages than others. Like, again, I have straight and able-bodied privilege. Someone else I know, they might have white privilege. Someone else I know may have male privilege. Certain people are way more privileged than others, absolutely. People need to own that instead of being like, oh, we're just not going to talk about it. I would say probably 95% of the people I follow were on the same page. They understand what's going on. I've had some people that I know, some people I kind of know at acquaintances, reach out and say, hey, how are you doing? Like, we're thinking about you, and I appreciate that because they understand this is bothering me. It's not even just the racial issues with, police brutality, inequality, systemic racism. It's the coronavirus also. I'm at risk having blood clots and stuff. I'm at risk, getting the coronavirus or whatever. So when I see people that I know making jokes, saying that they're not that they're not going to wear a mask, like bragging about it, just being really inappropriate, saying, oh, they don't care about people who are affected. Oh, we'll just stay at home. I can't stay at home. I have doctor's appointments. I have to go to the grocery store. I have other errands that I have to do that are essential, like going to the bank, going to whatever. I have to do that. A majority of my stuff, yeah, I'm at home. I'm not going to the gym. Believe me, I need to be going to the gym. I don't feel safe. simple as that. So I'm not going to have someone make jokes and pretty much like put me down for being at risk or making jokes when I've known people who either got it or had a relative or friend who got it and died. No, I don't. I'm not thinking this is funny. And I just lost respect for a handful of people with this stuff. Probably about 10 people going on. Yeah, probably about 10 people. I've had to either just not talk to you anymore or unfollow on social media because you send me, oh, I'm sick of talking about this, or oh, I'm sick of hearing about this. When you're sick of hearing about something, that's privilege because it doesn't affect you. I've seen people literally eat crow because they were sick of hearing about something, and all of a sudden they were affected, or someone knew they knew were affected. I was like, oh, okay, now I care. It's like, no, you didn't care before. And I've seen some people really, not a lot, but I've seen a couple people kind of pull back and be like, wow, I need to check myself. Um, Especially on Instagram, a lot of teachers I follow, they've had to check their biases. And I'm not going to say white teachers because other people have issues with black and brown people also. Hispanic people have issues with black people. Asian people could have issues with Hispanic and black people. It's all over the place. It's not a white thing. Believe me, I have a lot more white allies than I do other allies from other ethnicities. Some, it's like cricket chirping. But I have a lot of white allies, and unfortunately, there's some white people that I know, some Hispanic people that I know, some Asian people I know who have not said anything. And I know, not to stereotype, they're conservative. So in their world, it's all lives matter. We're all the same. We're not all the same. And there's still people that are like completely downplaying what we have to go through. How much evidence do you need to see? There's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's TikTok, there's YouTube, there's videos of what we have to go through. And this is not new. This has gone on for hundreds of years, and I still see people like making jokes talking about, oh, what about white people dealing with this, white people dealing with that? What do you mean? And they'll talk about just like random stuff. That's everyday stuff. People have everyday struggles. We're talking about, are you messed with by the police? Are people not dating you because of your ethnicity or because you're LGBTQ? Are people not hiring you because of who you are or your skin color? I have to worry about going to places that don't have a lot of minorities. Orange County is very vanilla. When I go out there, I have to, as they say, mind my P's and Q's. I have to make sure that I'm not looking suspicious. And I hate to say that, but like, stain, sorry. But it just makes me mad that people still do not get it. We have social media now, and that's what I'm saying. I'm proud of the people who have pulled back, and they've examined themselves and said like certain things that they've read that are kind of offensive to say or are offensive. Like, oh man, I've said that, and then they've apologized, and I appreciate that. I'm even going to like disability issues. I know in the past I've said the R word, and I said it because I was around people who said it. I didn't know until I was like maybe late teens or late 20s that saying the R word was offensive. And I'm not gonna lie, once in a while I do say it. When someone's really not paying attention to what I'm saying, it's like, oh, why are they being... And I'm like, oh, shoot, I shouldn't say that. I own that and say, yeah, I shouldn't say that. Or someone might say something, oh, that's gay or something like that. You can't say stuff like that. That's inappropriate. And it's just about acknowledging your biases, acknowledging what people are going through. Listen to people's stories. That's the main thing. Listen to people's stories. I don't know if this man named Emmanuel Acho, I think his last name is Acho, he has a YouTube channel. He has 3 episodes. It's his Conversations with a Black Man. And his first episode, I didn't see the first episode, but the second one's with Matthew McConaughey. The third one is with Chip and Joanna Gaines, who are on HGTV. They have 5 kids. And Joanna is Asian and her husband's white, so their kids are mixed. And they said they had conversations about, biases that they've had. And Emmanuel talks to them about stuff that he's had happen to them, and they just like shake their head because they can never imagine that happening to them or their kids. And it's sad that some of the people that I know who haven't said anything, they have black people in their family, they have brown people in their family. Why are they not saying anything? And I mean, it irritates me because some people still just don't want to get it. You have privilege, own it. I have straight privilege. I have able-bodied privilege. I own it. So when I hear my LGBTQ brothers and sisters and my disabled brothers and sisters speaking out on something, even people that I don't know, I repost it on Twitter, I repost stuff on Facebook, because I know I have that privilege and not having to worry about that. When I was in disability for my blood clot, I had a sliver of an experience being disabled. Having people look at you funny, having people question how sick you are. Do you really need your disability? Because I had a couple people question me about my medication. I have side effects from medication, which I've talked about in the past. Don't question my side effects and trying to question if I'm living off a disability, which, by the way, disability is not even that much. So believe me, I'm not trying to live off of that. So I had a sliver of experience. I remember reading the hashtag about able to weird and seeing people who had a broken leg or a bum knee or had to be in a wheelchair, had to use crutches, and they saw for a sliver of a second how people treat them like, oh, you're in the way and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't know, don't just dismiss it. Talk to people and hear their experiences. Read stuff. I read stuff on social media. And if you're taking the education and you're acknowledging it, props to you. If you choose to keep being ignorant, it's stupid now. It's stupidity. You have privilege. Own it. Just own it. And, it's just, like I say, it hurts my heart because I'm losing respect for a lot of people. Like I said, with the coronavirus and with the racial issues, just like being like they're being inconvenienced hearing about it. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say right now. I'm going to do another video updating about other stuff that's going on. But yeah, I mean, if you watch this video and you're kind of like sick of hearing about certain things, like look at your privilege. Why are you upset about hearing stuff? Are you upset because people are experiencing it? Or are you upset because you just don't feel like hearing about it, which is called privilege? I know everyone has everyday things going on, but think about what minorities have to go through. Think about what LGBT people have to go through. Think about what disabled people have to go through. Do you have to go through that? No. So then don't dismiss what people are talking about when they talk about their stories. Okay, let me decompress. I'm going to go listen to some music and try to stay off of social media, because every time I go on Facebook especially, I see someone I know saying something I don't care for, and it makes me mad. And one more thing, hate speech is not difference of opinion. If I read one more time, well, people have differences of opinion. No. If you're saying racist stuff, you're dissing me. If you're saying stuff against women, you're dissing me. If you're saying stuff about gay people, I'm not gay, but I support them. So you're dissing me and anyone I know who's part of that community. If you're dissing anyone, I don't want to hear it. So let me just get off that topic, and please be kind to one another. Please listen to people's stories. Please be compassionate, be safe, and be responsible. Good night.